I was thinking about your path, your journey, and I was thinking about how growing up, because I know your mom and dad divorce when you're pretty young.
They were never married, but
they were never married.
But yeah.
So they were living in sin, as we Catholics say.
I mean, I honestly, I don't even know. Their story's so crazy. I don't even know what was going on. But
really, after all these years, you still don't know what was going on.
I've heard a lot of different versions. I'll put it that way. But yeah, no, I think they split up when I was really young. So I grew up with my mom.
Right, and this is an interesting thing in Grapevine, Texas.
Yeah.
And so what's interesting is that you have, for anyone who doesn't know, your dad, Ravi Shankar, you come, and your mom as well, both have this musical pedigree, this musical background. So there's some of that, but then you're transplanted to Texas.
Yeah.
And I think that's got to be fascinating because you grew up in this environment that had to have influenced you. I mean, if you had grown up in New York City, do you know what I mean?
Or in India.
With
my dad.
With your dad, you might not be you at this moment. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, my history is very different. I mean, it's interesting because I'm a musician. And he passed away, but he was this brilliant musician, Indian musician. And my mom is not a musician, but she loved music. So I grew up with my mom, seeing my dad here and there, and then not seeing him for a long period. And then we reconnected later. But growing up, I was influenced by my mom's record collection. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
So who were you listening to?
Ray Charles and Aretha Franklin and Willie Nelson and...
So this is what's fascinating. So you grow up and you're listening to those people and you're in this, what I imagine is it a small town in Texas?
Grapevine is a huge sprawling town now, but when I was little, it was small.
Right. Mm-hmm. So you're growing up in this environment and you were not that connected to the pop music of your time. Is that right?
I was in middle school. I loved... Casey Kasem's Top 40 every Sunday. I was obsessed with that for a while.
I just listened to Casey. I would turn off the music. I just fell in love with the voice of Casey Kasem. And,
who's going to be number one?
Yeah. You can buy bootlegs where it's just Casey and then you don't hear the music. I have all of them. They're awful.
There are Casey Kasem bootlegs. I don't know if you've heard of them.
No, I have.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We know where he loses it.
Yeah.
Oh,
he has a meltdown.
Oh.
Yeah,
oh, boy.
We should start releasing mine where I have a meltdown.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot.
I want to hear those.
You can actually physically hear me hitting Gourley. So you were somewhat aware, but you were, I guess, jazz was jazz a bigger part of your life?
It was after a certain point, but I was really into Nirvana and the Violent Femmes at one point, and then maybe like 9th grade, I got really into jazz. Okay. And then that's all there was for like the next 5 years. That's all I was obsessed with.
I'm so intimidated by jazz.
So a lot of people are. Even I am, because I'm not really a great jazz musician. It's kind of where I came from musically, but I never practiced enough to really hang with, real jazz musicians and a jam session.
Yeah.
Jazz, that's exactly what they call themselves.
Yeah, I've always thought of jazz music as, you're sitting at the sushi bar and they're like, it's chef's choice. And you don't know exactly. It scares me a little bit, and that's just because I have some mental block. I was all about rockabilly, crazy intense rockabilly, and that was the stuff that pulled me in, and kind of lit me up. I inspired me in so many ways.
It's great music,
but very, very simple, extremely rudimentary. And that was maybe part of the magic for me is I could play it.
I feel you. I mean, that's why I love country songs, and sometimes you just cut straight to the heart of something with the most simple thing. I think I can't play fast jazz either, so we're in it together. in that term.
There are so many ways in which we're similar.
Yeah, and
people are always calling me the Norah Jones of comedy.
We can't play fast jazz
because
I think they call you the Jim Jones of comedy.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry, because I'm leading my followers to pure destruction. Well, either way. I'm fine either way. And either way, it's a compliment as far as I'm concerned. Okay. But what's amazing is that you grow up listening to these people, and then if you could ever imagine that, okay, you were a huge Willie Nelson fan, Ray Charles fan, you're going to be playing with these people. You did a duet with Ray Charles.
Yeah, I did. I mean,
what
it
was that
crazy.
like? What was Ray Charles like?
He was very nice. We went in for 20 minutes. We did 3 takes of the song, and that was it. But we were all live in the room together. It was amazing. He was sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I know that you have this much longer lasting connection with Willie Nelson.
I've been so lucky to play and sing with Willie like multiple times. I love him so much.
Yeah, he is such a great spirit.
Yeah. Did you see they're having a big show at the Hollywood Bowl for his 90th birthday?
90th birthday.
In April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is a great advertisement that marijuana is not bad for you.
Exactly.
He and Snoop Dogg will live to be 600.
Yeah.
What's amazing to me is I'm thinking about the first time I met Willie Nelson. He came on my late night show in the early days, and he had that incredible beat up guitar he has.
Oh, Trigger.
Yeah. That he's played forever. Is it a Martin?
It's a nylon string. That's
a nylon string.
All I remember. But,
yeah,
but he puts it through an amp.
Yeah, he puts it through an amp,
which is totally cool.
Right, he's got a little drop-in, pickup.
Yeah,
and he plays it through an amp, and it's got a hole in it, as if it had been recovered somewhere, and a rat had eaten through it.
Not the sound hole. It's got a separate.
No, it's got a gaping.
It's got its own. There's the sound hole, and then there's this thing that looks like a ferret clawed its way into the guitar, or clawed its way out, and it's covered in signatures.
Yeah.
And it's all these people. He's had Trigger forever, and it's everyone has signed. He's had all these amazing people sign Trigger, and the show's over. And I said, that's just incredible. He's got like George Jones' signature. He's got all these. He's got everybody. And there's Tammy Wynette, and there's but all these public. And he said, "Yeah, sign it, Conan." And I said, "No, we shall not sully this." And he was like, "Come on." And so I signed it with like a ballpoint pen.
Wow.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that when Willie got backstage, he wiped it off.
That's cool. I don't think I've signed Trigger.
That was a dry erase marker.
Yeah, exactly. I said, I'll use my pen. He went, no, use this one. Wipes off easily.